everybody, Gina DeLuca here. Okay, today I'm going to be doing another moving straight pour using a different color combination. Today I have for my background slash base coat Phthalo Blue by Liquitex Basics. Light green from artist Loft. I have 24 karat gold by Americana Decor Metallics. Decoart. And so the phthalo blue and the light green in these two cups have been mixed with the Decoart Americana Decor Satin Enamels in pure white. I am a Decoart affiliate, so if you want to get your hands on some of these paints, you can check out the coupon code and the affiliate link in the description box below. And then I receive a commission if you buy something through those links. I get a commission at no additional cost to you. You get a discount with the coupon code. It's a win-win for all. And the website usually has way more colors in stock than the stores do. So there you have that. These paints have been mixed. 1 part paint, 2 parts Floetrol. That mixture is then thinned with my concoction of 90% water and 10% Floetrol, until I get the consistency that I'm looking for, which is, this is about a 2 on my consistency scale. It is making a mound, but it disappears pretty quickly. It's making a nice thin stream off of my stick. Nice even stream. It looks like I could mix that up a little bit. Here's a little mixing tip. I love these kinds of, these little paddles here, these little spatulas, and I smash the paint up against the side of the cup. So if there are thicker areas, it gets blended in a lot faster. So actually, I think I need to thin this out a little bit. As it sits, it gets a little thicker, but basically a hair thinner than this is what we're going for. Before we get started, have you seen the Fluid Art inspiration cards? If you have, you can fast forward about a minute, but if you have not, what we have are 52 cards. There are 42 technique cards, and each technique card has an associated video here on YouTube that gives you all of the information that you need. The exact paint, brand, color, consistency, the recipe, and of course the technique, all of the things that I can't fit onto a card. This is the picture of the painting in that video. This box contains a tip for that particular technique, and here at the bottom you have the color palette that was used in that painting. And then these 2 boxes can be used as the basis of a 2-color palette, or you can add to those colors. There are also 8 bonus color palette cards. Each one has 5 color palettes. You can use all of the colors or just some of the colors. Mix and match the bonus color palettes with the technique cards, and you have more combinations than you could ever paint in a lifetime. These are available at my website, ginadeluca.net, and also at amazon.com. Okay, I have thinned this out a bit. You can see this is the consistency that we're looking for. This is a 2. Makes a mound, but disappears very quickly. Nice, thin, even stream off of the stick. There we go. The first thing I'm going to do is put some paint in this cup. I'm going to do about 2 ounces. And then I'm going to use this for my base coat, and I'm going to reserve just a bit to put on the top of the cup when I put my paints in. The reason that I lay down a base coat is because it helps my paints to slide around more easily, more evenly. If I pour onto a naked canvas, something has to stick to the canvas first, and that is going to be the paint that comes out of your cup. And what is on the edges of that puddle, it's not going to stretch. The center of the puddle is going to roll over top of what is on the edges of your puddle. And sometimes what happens on the edges is really super cool. So I don't want to lose that. So I lay down a base coat It helps it to slide more uniformly, so I have less of a chance of getting wonky cells. And you will notice that I've already covered my edges, and that is because this is a thin mix, and especially with Floetrol, when you have a thin mix and Floetrol, you might not get the best coverage on the sides. So I cover the sides first so I don't have to worry about it later. It is much easier to just cover the sides before you get started than it is to come back later with a brush and try to make the sides look pretty. Especially if you're working with custom blended colors, then you have to mix it just right. All right, my base coat is down, and now I'm going to put some paint in a cup. I'm going to start with the lighter blue. I'm going to pour from up high and allow it to sink and churn. So what is happening here, the Decoart paints dry more matte than the basics paints. So it creates a hydrophobic effect. The Decoart paints will create cells and push away the background paint, the basics paint. So the Decoart paints are absolutely fantastic for creating cells when you use them with a paint that dries glossier than they do. Okay. I think these colors should look pretty beautiful together. It's my prediction. Regardless of what happens, if I get cells or not, these colors should look good together. Okay, now going over top with what is left in this cup so that all of the paints have something, some of the background paint to react with, but you'll see that they just keep popping up even in the cup, which is why I add the paint to the cup last. If I added the paint to the cup and then put down my base coat, it would all be coming to the top. So, very quickly, let me torch this base coat. I see some bubbles. Let's get rid of them now. Part of the reason that I use the same color for my base coat as I do for the background of a straight pour is because when you have little bubbles in your base coat, if it pops up through your pour, you want it to be something, the color that's in your pour. If this were white and there's no white in my pour, then I wind up with little tiny white cells that kind of don't make sense. Okay, let's make a mess before all of these cells pop up. So I'm going to do kind of an S. And I like when it gets some wiggle action in there. I think I'm going to try this again, but with a regular cup, because that can seem to give better fingerling action than a cup with a spout. Okay, and whatever I have left here, I'm just gonna zhuzh up my edges a bit just in case I have a hard time covering the corners. This will still kind of give it a finished look. Okay, plenty of cells happening here. Popping the bubbles. As I mentioned, when you pop bubbles, it brings paint up with it. So, if your paint that it brings up is a cell maker, I allow this to sit. Those cells will continue to get bigger because it is a hydrophobic effect. If you break that down, it kind of just means it's afraid of water. And so it's going to push that water away. Basically, the basics paint. It's going to push that away and grow. So the more I let it grow right now, the more I let these cells expand now, the bigger they will be after I stretch them. I could have stretched this immediately and gotten a bunch of pop-up cells, or what people call pearl cells. I call them pop-up cells because they kind of pop up after the pour. Whereas these will give you boulder cells, a very 3D looking cell, because these paints have blended together. And then once I stretch it, it has a really cool 3D effect. And I'm just going to continue popping the bubbles as they come up. Sometimes you can give it a little jiggle like a cake pan and get them to pop up. Gentle jiggles, y'all, gentle. No need to slam the canvas on your counter space. Oh, Satchmo says hello. Okay, I really love what's happening here. I don't want to lose that, but I probably will. So that's just how it works. Okay, so I'm going to do this side first because this isn't super interesting to me. So if I lose that, I won't be devastated. Okay, I'm going to kind of bring it back to center. The weight of your paint is going to be where your paint is moving the fastest. And you can use the weight of your paint to get very specific about what gets tilted. So when I was saying sometimes the coolest thing happens on the edge of your puddle, like this is super cool. I love this. I may very well come in and I could just leave this as negative space. But actually that is still a lot of paint on my canvas. So I don't know that I can do that. But I could. If I could. Maybe if I just come off the side some and stretch it that way, I can get some of this excess paint off. And try to keep some of what's happening there. Oh, decisions. Okay. I think I am going to go for the full coverage. I really want to stretch these boulders out. Okay, kind of coming back to the center a bit. I'm going to work that corner. I am going to lose that ring. That's okay. I see lots of very cool stuff happening. Okay, and again, bringing the paint back to center. That is going to help with the shape of your cells, but also with drying. Okay. I think that's it. I'm good with that. I'm going to let this sit for a few, see what happens. I might get some more cells popping up. I'm not going to torch it again. I don't like to torch the satin enamels after I've stretched. That is typically, if I've gotten cracking, that's when it happens. So I'm just going to leave it be, and I will bring you in for a close-up. Back in a few. Okay, here it is. Very happy with how these colors played together. Got some of that cool glowing effect. The camera is not reading this quite right because that gold is looking a bit more copper. Really cool effects in that last little stream that I did. When that stretched out, looks very cool. Some awesome 3D boulder action. I am pleased with this one. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. Do check out the description box below for links to my PayPal tip jar if you feel so inclined. There is a Patreon. You can join us there. I do have Q&A Zooms and some exclusive content there. Also in the description box, you'll find links to my affiliates, Decoart being one of them. You can get the coupon codes, and if you use those links that are available, I will receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. It's a way to help a sister out without inconveniencing you at all. And you'll also find the link to our Facebook group, Go Make Some Art. Join us there, post your masterpieces, ask your questions, get some inspiration. A good time is had by most. It is the internet after all. And if you are already subscribed, please make sure you have clicked that bell. Only like 3% of my viewers are actually seeing these videos. Like 97% of my views are from people who aren't subscribed. That means my subscribers are not getting these videos, and it's because they implemented that bell after I already had 100,000 subscribers. And it's something that you have to go back and do retroactively. So be sure you have clicked that bell and then signed up for notify of all uploads. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it for today. I hope y'all had a beautiful day. Now go make some art.